Yeah, which means that. Which means the fuck plays on all those. For fuck's sake of being here. Every time there is pretty much something like that, I pretty much hate it already. Also, it is not a 10, so I'm trusting... No, wait a second. Even if it is a 30 then. So I still need to do that. I'm not going to trust the 32 though. Accounts for everything, actually. Someone who can't step shot in here. What the fuck? I would be potentially saying nobody can step shot correctly. And I can pretty much say that on both Pop and Music and Beatmania. No matter if official or fan. Seriously. Everyone is just being a fucking moron. Has it said something about there being a null measure there? What? So I will be going straight over the other one. Also, yeah, I pretty much, I think I displayed that one last time, where if I go into a song and then go straight out, in terms of clearing it immediately, the data will be false in the top left. Will be potentially saying I fixed that one. So if there's nothing and won't display anything, almost pretty much like if one does autoplay. Fuck off. Even on a low one. Are we actually saying I turned it to a casual even here? Yeah, that was something else. It's the only one in here. It will take a while, the usual. What's going on there? But it still continues afterwards. I might be potentially saying that I should be stopping anything that goes above. Maybe I should be actually doing that. Also, pretty much in terms of stuff in here, I can't have it anywhere in here. Song sounds good. The thing is that it went, wait a second, why would it, We'll be saying that might be the reason I'm making it that way, but even if, I think M speed is just fucking terrible no matter what. Like, even if it's just 1 BPM difference, it would be still like that. Depending, I'm not actually... I'm not really sure on that one, though. Or at least 5 BPM. There has to be somewhere around where stuff will be going terrible in terms of stuff not truly following actual speeds. I'm still assuming that that would be that bad. Also, why the fuck is it this key? Also quite a bit in everything. I might skip this one. I would be saying that the last one was pretty much apparent because it's the... I'm not really sure if that button combination has a specific name like the impossible combination. That's pretty much how the fuck do you get there? Unless you pretty much make it use your arm. Also, because of everything in here, I really hope that it is not according with the subtitle. There is no other something in here. At least I'm not sure on that one. That might be the level, quote unquote. Although if that is actually the case, then why please? I'm not sure on either of those two. Also, in terms of the halfway point, I've already gotten through that, I would be saying, because usually nothing goes beyond 2 hours, or just somewhat. I don't think it will be going anywhere in here. Well, potentially. Oops. That is something else entirely. I will be doing the other one as well, because potentially it has been this high because of holds. Let's check. Potentially saying someone can't set difficulties correctly. Because that was doable. This is pretty much the reason why I have SPS system in here. And if it goes haywire, then it's pretty much the stepchild's fault because it's not supposed to go there. Whoops. Same thing potentially? I'm not really sure. I'm really hoping that it goes there. Eh. Yeah, it was the only one that I could be doing on he. Yeah, because everything else is a bit over in he. It is... I will be... potentially someone doesn't know how to step chart or rate correctly. Pretty much I'm assuming like how it had been usually beforehand. We'll see on the first two. Also sound mastering? I'm on 20 and this one is boosting. Sheesh. I don't think that was a 4. It might be actually an 8. Therefore, only one more difficulty to go through instead of 2. This is even going to be something, because it's rated 19, but it's calculated 25 on my end. So let's see. For fuck's sake, I don't think I have drank one sip today. At least during the session. It is not much compared to that, so what the hell happened here? No, wait. I would be saying it has something to do with all the jumps up in here, so I'm skipping that one. That is something... Okay, this is pretty much just obnoxious hard over in here. I will be doing only the beginner one because easy is too hard. I've taken that as a little bit of a time to sip, but I should be still doing that one afterwards. Okay. It is pretty much doable, so I'm not really sure if I should be going on easy. Because it's pretty much double that. Let's just check. I will be pretty much failing because it's a... I will be potentially saying that I will be failing at the first spike, which is coming up immediately. It would have been doable if it was actually been step charted correctly at least. Otherwise, it would have potentially been possible. Nah. It is only this one. Which is quote unquote normal. How long was it even? Everything is just uneven in terms of difficulty. I fucking hate you. Seriously, this is the reason why nobody can snapshot correctly. Even if it's... the first half is pretty much a 20. The later half is pretty much like a 30. That's the reason why it's a 25. I fucking hate stuff like this. I said something that I should be having a peek in there as well. And in terms of stuff, I should be mainly having the peak being displayed instead of everything else. So that I then pretty much know how far it will then go. At least in terms of Yeah. I'm still not sure on how I'm going to make a display over in here. With that, I would be potentially saying I might need to get rid of certain other things. So pretty much SPS will then be the one that is then being preferred because of that. So yeah, I might need to check on stuff if I even get around there. Sheesh. For fuck's sake. Already. Rated 30. Calculated as a 32. Fuck off. A whole lot of loading and I said something about drinking or taking a sip. I still haven't done so. But that's the reason why I'm pretty much so grumpy in here. What the fuck? Fucking there. Fuck off in here. Seriously, I'm seeing this over in there. The second half is again the hard one. I might be potentially saying that this is actually a peak 35. But everything else is not that hard. But then you were near, so pretty much I need to do a peak over in here. Have peak on the left side, have the average on the right. SPS will then be gone. Pretty much I need to do a fourth option, so to speak. Pretty much SPS peak. And this one is null measure. Depending on stuff, on how it goes. Also, why the fuck is it again this tricky dicky in here with M speed not being correctly displayed as 350. Fuck's sake. That might happen. I would be saying it was there. So potentially in terms of stuff, so I can see, I said this one last time as well. In terms of if there's a null space, null measure, it should also tell me where it is. I would potentially say that if it happens there, I have to pretty much have like a developer stuff in the background, so that if stuff is pretty much just for me, that certain things should pretty much only be there for me and not for everyone else. Either that, or I can just do this one as the offline one, pretty much what I have. Also, what the hell is going on in here? I would be saying another gimmick one, and in terms of step charts, in terms of difficulty, it has been rated all higher except for hard, which is of course hard, and everything else should actually be easier than what's been set to. What the hell? I am not sure what is going on there. Are they pretty much fakes or something? No, not really, so... For fuck's sake. Have it there. There was a hold. So it is pretty much doable. I pretty much just need to be on X speed. Let's check it here then, because that one is then actually something. Okay, that is pretty much... what the hell? I would be saying I failed because I missed all of those, so let's retry that one. So the stop was supposed to be down below. There was something else over in here. And I would be potentially saying I would have been unable to read anything there. So yeah, like I said over in here, those stubs, I'm not really sure if I double screwed myself, because if I remember correctly, I'm not really sure if that happened there as well. Either way, if I don't think I have it. I have a certain check in here for it being flip upside down. Was it? Pretty much that is what is going on in here, and I have not checked it, which is pretty much like checking for a reverse. So pretty much it is assuming, since like Dancer's Evolution and everything else is pretty much all on top. This is the reason why it's not on the bottom. And I thought I fixed that one, but apparently it's a no on that one. Also, going back on in here. Also, I went long enough for this to be... I'm not really sure where the halfway point is. I think that's the last one. Yeah, pretty much is. Usually in terms of stuff like here, wrong button, would be potentially doing elsewhere, like should we be going over there as well? I mean, you know fucking what, I'm going to do that one next time. If it turns out that I should have done that one before, then it's also going to be a short session. Either that or I can make a pause somewhere, or pretty much a double session. Which would be then a bit terrible because of certain other things, but still, actually doesn't... actually depends on stuff. Either way, leave it. That was whatever over in here. Still about 40 rounds, which is usual around. Actually, scratched 2 of them because I failed them for whatever reason. They're both of the Eagle tiers. Those were what the hell. Everything else is just whatever. And yeah, I'm pretty much still not sure on everything else in terms of if the grades would be potentially on par with the total that I have or not. Either way. Potentially would be going there or not. Literally I have a 0 because geez, what the hell. Ah, it was that, yeah, that was that. Yeah, maybe completely off. Whoops.